The May 20th AEW 3-hour extravaganza build up to Double or Nothing gave us a lot to talk about. So we started the night off with a quick video package from the Young Bucks and Jericho, and they were trying to come up with a team name, and I don't understand why nobody said Jeribucks, but that's what I'm just going to call them, because after that little video package, we rolled into the Young Bucks and Jericho versus Davis, Andrade, and Ricochet. And it was good. It was good top to bottom. I had no complaints. I actually have one fun note, or one positive note, and that's that Jericho canceled the photo op that Andrade was taking with two fans. Knock it off. We're done with this. Just wrap it up and move on. It's like, whatever. Be done. We did see Davis, Andrade, and Ricochet get the win while the referee was distracted. Finlay came running out, slid in, hit a move. Everything went all cattywampus for a second. And then the heels got a 1-2-3 victory over the Bucks and Jericho. I'm not mad at it. I think that it works very well for things that we have been setting up for the Stadium Stampede, which is 7-on-7. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be worth it. So moving into our next match, we did see Ciampa versus Briscoe in an Anything Goes match. Briscoe brought out a trash can with some stuff in it. As soon as the bell rang, everybody was off and running. It was a lot. There was blood and gore and Briscoe stabbing Ciampa with a screwdriver and Ciampa using a staple gun to put some paper on Briscoe's head. 3 staples, in fact. We had a stuffed chicken at one point that just appeared after a commercial break. And I really have to give this one the match of the night, because there was so much going on. I had to pause and take notes and play and pause and take notes. So there was one point where Ciampa had a chain. Briscoe was climbing up to the top rope. Ciampa wrapped that chain around Briscoe's neck, grabbed it, and yanked him off the top rope to the floor where a table was hanging out. So he went from the top to a table to the floor. That was a lot. Like I said, there was the staple gun that came into play. They originally started using the staple gun to attach barbed wire to a table, which then ended up getting used later on in the match when Briscoe put Ciampa through with a J-Driller. It was all over the place. It was a lot of fun. It was so much action right there at the beginning of the show. We got a couple quick video packages, one of them being Takeshita versus Okada coming up at the pay-per-view for the title, and that's still a very interesting match. A lot of people are really waiting for it to happen. We're finally getting it in a couple of days. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I'm sure you can't wait. We're going to run that from top to bottom. We also got a little thing where Shivani was in the ring and he was trying to say something, and Prince Nana came out and was like, "Get out of here, old man." And then Swerve came out, and while Swerve was walking down the entrance ramp, Bandito jumped him from behind. There was a huge brawl. Both men were going back and forth just for the next 3 or 4 minutes, and Swerve escaped just by the skin of his teeth after he threw a chair at Bandito. Bandito swatted it away and then was like, "Oh wait, I should use this." And he reached down and picked it up and then stood with it. They kind of had a quick standoff, and then Swerve was like, "Peace," and he disappeared. That match on Sunday is going to be just as ridiculous. They're really building up this pay-per-view, and I cannot wait to see the whole thing. Then we got the sad news. Willow came on in a backstage kind of promo, self-promo. It wasn't quite an interview. She was just there, and she was like, "Hey, I love being the face of TBS. I am very excited that the Owen Hart tournament is going on. However, I have to drop the belt, and I have to drop out of the tournament because I have a shoulder injury." So, sad day for that. Hopefully, she can recover pretty quickly, and she can come back and do all the things and get her title back and just continue to pursue all the good things. So, best of luck and best wishes to Willow in getting her injury back on track. They didn't announce who's taking her place in the tournament. They just put wild card in the slot, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens there. Third match of the night, we saw Kyle O'Reilly taking on Jon Moxley again It was a Continental Eliminator match, and this one actually went the distance for me. Not only did they hit the 20-minute time limit, it was very good. Everything about it. There was a lot of mat wrestling, a lot of grappling. Both men are excellent strikers. And John got real close to tapping out in the end, but O'Reilly just couldn't pull it out. However, because he hit the 20 minutes, he does get a shot at the title. And he said that Sunday, when their match happens for the title, he doesn't want a time limit on it. He doesn't want anything like that. He wants this to be cut and dry, winner take all. So that's going to be very exciting. I am so ramped up for this Sunday. It's crazy. Renee followed all that up with a quick backstage interview with Stat and Sheeta. And Stat and Sheeta were basically just like, we're coming after everybody, so everybody prepare. We're going to have our eyes in every direction to see what people are doing and who we can take on next to keep putting our name out there. They're really building for a tag title shot, which I'm all for. I think that would be a really good match. I don't know if they would have to do the 5-minute stipulation or if they can just go straight into having the match. However, either way, Sheeta's really trying to pull some shenanigans, and Stat is just being Stat Daddy. So hopefully we do get to see Stat and Sheeta versus Mega Cross here pretty soon. Hopefully for the titles. I'm not going to hold my breath that that's going to happen in the next 3 or 4 weeks, but it should happen soon. Then we slipped left backstage, and Roosh was there. He basically called out Darby Allin and said, if you win this Sunday, I get next shot at the title next Wednesday, because when you mess with the bull, you get the horns. So 37 seconds, cut and dry. We know exactly what he's going after. Then we came to an 8-woman tag match, which was Athena and the Triangle of Madness versus Mina, Thunder Rosa, and the Brawling Birds. And it was a good match overall. I didn't have any bad notes. I didn't have any great notes. We did, however, get to see yet another heel team take the victory. So, yay to that. Julia Hart hit the Black Mist. We got a quick roll-up right after that. Everything is good in the world of heels. So I'm happy that we got to see that. I'm happy that we got a little bit more of a build for the Triangle of Madness. I was really excited to see Athena come out and join that team. I am curious where Billy Starks is at the moment. I haven't looked into Ring of Honor too much lately, so I don't know what she's doing down there. But hopefully all of this gets to build into more of something for Athena, and she can go through the tournament and get a good ranking and just be awesome. Then we got 2 more backstage promos, the first of which was Jet Speed. They were just hanging out, and Kevin Knight was like, you go out there and you kick butt and you get the title, and when you get the title and then you beat Max on Sunday to retain the title, you and I are going to go after it because Kevin Two Belt sounds awesome. Bailey was like, heck yeah, man, let's go out there and do this. Then they did that weird thing where they both turned and just stared at the camera, and it slow faded into Renee standing with the Death Riders, and she was asking Mox, hey, like, you almost tapped out? What happened there? And he was just like, almost means nothing. Thank you, Kyle, for bringing out the best in me. There's no way you're going to get this title off of me, but I'll see you Sunday. And then he walked off, and the rest of the Death Riders finished up whatever they were doing. They started off doing push-ups in a circle. It was very strange. Then we came to the main event, Bailey versus Darby, and it was a slobber knocker. There were punches, kicks, jumps, bodies thrown every which direction. MJF was on commentary. At one point, Darby hit Bailey with a handful of moves and pinned him. MJF jumped off of commentary real quick, ran over, grabbed Bailey's foot, put it on the rope, and was just like, oh, ref, ref, look here. There it is. His foot's on the rope. Oh, he didn't lose. How crazy is that? And then Kevin Knight came running out, and MJF sat back down at the commentator's desk, and he's like, oh, relax, I'm on commentary. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. So Bailey stayed out there and continued to fight back. Him and Darby just were throwing hands and feet. It really was a great match. All the stuff that Darby's doing now that he's the champ has just been astronomical. The fact that he has put his title on the line every week for the last, 6 weeks or so, 7 weeks, and he still hasn't crashed and burned is crazy because of the stuff that he's been put through during this whole ordeal. Hopefully MJF gets the title back this Sunday, although I'm not hopeful, but I also don't want MJF to lose his hair. So I don't know I don't have a prediction realistically for their match on Sunday. I would love to have one. I would love to say that MJF is going to get the title back, but apparently he's under contract for a new movie, so he might be taking off for a while. So if they shave his head and then he disappears to go do this movie and then comes back in 6 months with fresh hair, cool. But if Darby loses, also cool. I'm fine either direction on this one. So we're just going to have to pay attention this Sunday. Then we began the Collision Hour, and that started up with the ending of Dynamite. Kevin Knight was still out there, and he grabbed a mic, and he congratulated Darby, and he told Darby, go kick ass this Sunday and shave Max's head bald, and we'll see you when you're done. And him and Bayley took off. MJF at some point had begun to walk through the crowd to leave, but as soon as Bayley and Knight were gone, MJF came running back out. He attacked Darby from behind, set the beat down on him, and then grabbed a pair of clippers and was going to shave Darby's head. Darby managed to reverse the whole thing, and he grabbed the clippers from MJF, held MJF down for a second, went to go shave his head just, to prove that he could. MJF skittered away, and then the show started proper. The first match of the Collision Hour was Ospreay versus Shibata. Hard hitting. Two dudes who spent a lot of time in New Japan, and they knew exactly how to burn the house down. So it was very good back and forth. Whatever training regimen that Ospreay is actually doing seems to be working wonders. He looks phenomenal. He wasn't gone for nearly as long as you would imagine he should have been gone with the neck injury. So he's doing great, and his neck is holding up, but that doesn't stop people from going after it, and Shibata tried. So Ospreay ended up with the victory at the end of it all. The couple Death Riders come out at that point. Then Samoa Joe came out, and he was like, I'm sorry, you don't want to be my friend. I'm going to put you to sleep on Sunday. Ospreay turned it around, grabbed his own mic, and was like, listen, bruv, you and I don't actually have any beef. You're just being an idiot. So this Sunday, I'm going to take you to hell and back, because the Death Riders, even though I'm not their friends and I'm not part of them, have gotten my strength up to a level I didn't think I would have. I thought I was going to be flightless after the neck surgery. Big thing about being a bird. And that was that. So we are getting Joe and we are getting Ospreay this Sunday. That's going to be a hell of an opener for the tournament. I can't say how excited I just so much excite about this whole pay-per-view setup. Let's go. Then we had a random stairwell in the back, and Cage and Copeland were back there, and they were basically just like, we're going to beat the crap out of FTR because they laid hands on family, and we just don't like them. So they either win the titles or they're no longer a tag team. I'm kind of hoping they win the titles, but the monkey wrench of them not being able to be a tag team anymore would be very interesting to see how things progress from there. We have to wait till Sunday. Then we got two squishes. We got Roosh versus TJ Crawford. That lasted about 90 seconds. Not much to report there. They're building Roosh for something. I don't know exactly what it is, but I can't wait to see the payoff for it, because Roosh is a crazy person. Then we got Mega Cross versus El Valentin and Kayla Lopez. And they just toyed with them the whole time. The whole thing lasted 2 minutes, 50 seconds. They could have ended in under a minute, but they didn't. They were playing with their food the entire time. So 2 squishes, run and done. And then we came to the second main event of the night, which was FTR versus Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. Very good match top to bottom. I think everybody going in kind of knew that FTR wasn't going to lose because of the stakes for Sunday. But it was solid nonetheless. Orange and Roddy really looked like they had a chance a couple of times. And then Stokely popped up and was interfering and used the watch that he stole from Christian as like brass knuckles and punched Orange and then Shatter Machine and game over. Have a nice day. So that was the dual show rundown. And now we get Sunday. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be a whole lot. And I don't work Monday, so I'll definitely be staying up late to make a video and upload it, and we'll go from there. So until Sunday, be good to yourselves. Have a great rest of the week. Peace.